Always gotta keep my head up, always gotta keep my eyes up. Smoking dope, got my eyes low. Off the drugs, kill my idols. Everybody got me fed up. Reminisce when shit was better, but was it really ever better? Or did I feel like this forever? Always gotta keep my head up, always gotta keep my eyes up. Smoking dope, got my eyes low. Off the drugs, kill my idols. Everybody got me fed up.
Hello and welcome to this week's video. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Faeralland or Caitlin. You can call me either, but I'm an artist, and this week, this video is, we've got a bit of a vlog. It's quite long, way longer than I thought, but we're starting with this Easter long weekend. I just decided that it was time to make my little painting corner a little bit cuter, to do a couple of upgrades to the space. And I've only just moved into this house about 2 months ago. So this is one of the bedrooms in the house that has become my art studio. And I've put up these shelves from Kmart. That's pretty much all I've done in that corner. But that already made it quite cute, but I was like, you know what? This wood colour I'm not vibing with it. This could be so much better. And maybe because I've been watching too much TikTok, I've been seeing that like a lot of art videos that I'm really drawn to, or ones that get like lots of views, are people that have like a really cool studio background. And, you know, whether that's a little bit staged or not, I don't know. But obviously it's like they've had that in mind, and they've created like a really aesthetically pleasing background for their videos, and they've made their studio look cute. And I wanted to do the same. So I had a lot of like big plans. I was like, I'm going to do a mural on the wall. I'm going to paint the ceiling. I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. But I forgot how long things take. So my plans changed a little bit as the weekend went along, but as you can see, I pretty much just jumped in and started painting the ceiling. Sometimes I overthink things to death, and sometimes I just go, you know what? I'm doing it right now. I don't care. And I will just chaotically jump into a project. And that's kind of what happened here. So I painted this gradient on my ceiling, and I knew as I was painting it, right? I can even see in the footage, like I was gonna have to do 2 coats if I wanted it to be really smooth and not patchy. But because I know I'm gonna have to paint the ceiling white again when I move out, because it's a rental, I didn't want to like spend time doing 2 coats. So I was like, what could I do? And then I had an amazing idea. So I decided to use this contact paper that I bought from Kmart a month or so ago for no real purpose other than I will use that for something fun someday. And I'm so glad I bought it, because I drew all these like stars and moons, and I cut them all out. And man, did that take me a long time. I don't think I quite realised how long that was going to take me. And cutting contact paper that's like on a curled roll, it was a struggle, let me tell you. But I think it was so worth it. Like when I was sticking them up on the roof, I was like, okay, I'm going to strategically just like place the bigger ones over the patchiest areas of this paint. Because like, you know, it doesn't need to look like amazing close up. I just want the whole vibe to be cute. You know what I'm saying? So I was really happy with that idea. I was like, hell yeah, this is cool. However, this is me the next day, really excited to start sticking some more stars up. You see what's happened. So the next day, some of them had already started to fall off the roof. They weren't sticking. I don't know why. I probably should have tested one first, before I committed to spending half a day drawing them and cutting them out, but we live and learn. So this leads me to like the next step in what I did in this ceiling, which happened by accident, but I'm so glad it did, is that I painted another gradient over the top of that one, but I kept the stars up there. So they ended up being like little stencils, and I peeled them off to expose the colour underneath. And if I wasn't filming this video and telling you about the process, I would just claim that that was my idea from the start. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. But I just think that's the coolest idea. Why didn't I think of that? Bob Ross truly was ahead of his time. There's no mistakes, there's just happy accidents. I feel like that's my whole artistic/life process. It's just make mistakes and then realize my mistakes were better than what I initially wanted to do anyway. Go beach every day, all day, every day. I'm so happy with how this little area is going. There's a lot of things I want to do to it, and there's some things that I've ordered for some little DIY projects that I'm waiting to arrive. So I won't really go into what they are right now. I'll wait till the little bits and pieces arrive. But I do have a couple of projects that I can do this week because I have all the items, or like I only need to pop out to like Bunnings or Kmart or something, so I can still get them done. And one of those is some Coffin shelves. So I've had these, they were Coffin boxes. Here's the lids for them, but I unscrewed the lids, obviously, and I'm going to put these up on the wall to use as shelves, possibly for my paintbrushes, and I'll show you what I'm thinking for that. But I've had these boxes for years. Like I've had them for not quite 10 years, but most of them I've had for like a good 7 years. Even longer actually, maybe even 10 years. That's crazy. And I haven't done anything with them. But I think now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the last of like the hinges off the box lids. And these are going to turn into like coffin shaped wood painting panels. Do you see what I mean? So once I actually take the hinges off, maybe fill the holes with some wood filler, that's a wood panel perfect for painting on in a coffin shape. Like, that is the cutest thing ever, and I'm so excited. So I might hopefully paint these 3 for Halloween this year, maybe in like September or something, for an early Halloween little painting collection. So that's fun. But just realizing that I could turn these into shelves, I could put some like wood or foam board or something in them to make smaller shelves. But what I'm thinking, come with me. You're a bit backlit here, but I think we're fine. So what I'm thinking is on this wall here, hanging them up like, you know, like one there, one here, because I've got 3 different sizes. Painting them, obviously, but I think they're going to be really cool brush storage. You can kind of see that these are like some of my biggest brushes and they fit in to this one. So I was thinking if I got something that sort of covered up the bottom. So obviously the paintbrushes, if there's nothing here, they're going to fall out. But if I got something that covered the bottom here so the paintbrushes couldn't fall out and they can just rest in there. And because I've got the 3 different sizes, I can put my smaller brushes, do the same in this one, and have them like up here as decor. Like, come on, is that not cute? I think that's cute. So I want to do that. I've got to figure out how I want to paint them. I'm not too sure. And maybe I'm going to use some of the iridescent contact paper on them to sort of tie it in. But I don't know yet. And the next project is, I have more on the ground, but these are a few of like the old frames that I've got. So I want to paint them. Like the white one's quite cute, but I feel like it could be cuter painted. I want to paint them and put them on the wall. I don't have artworks for them yet, but that's okay. I'd like to get them painted and hung up, and then I can put artworks in them as I create them. But because the coffins are going to go there, I could always fill in the gaps with the frames. Do you know what I mean? I'll have to, when I put you down, when I'm not talking into my phone, I'll have a look at the layout, but I don't know if I want to put them on the same wall as the coffins or to put them maybe sort of just filling in some space over here. I kind of want to keep, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I don't even know if I'm going to keep like paintings displayed on these shelves because this does get a bit of natural sunlight. So I don't really want sunlight on these paintings. But I was thinking that the paintings that I put on that shelf will be like unfinished ones. So it won't matter too much. But I don't know. So yeah, those are my 2 projects. And I've also got a third one. Clouds for that corner up there. So fluffy, big fluffy clouds hanging down coffins with paintbrushes and frames somewhere. I'm not rushing myself on those. I'm going to be just doing those over the next few days. And right now, I want to tidy up my studio because it's a bit of a mess. And maybe just have a paint, have a bit of a little paint in this new space. So I get a feel for it. Little celebratory paint, even though we're not quite done yet. But, you know, everything's a work in progress, isn't it? So I want to sit down and enjoy it. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Hi. Hello. You got a rope. You gotta take me with you. Put some heart into it. Come on. You hellhound. it fills me with joy. It makes me so happy, just those little things. So I knew after the work I was putting in on the ceiling and on the room, I didn't have that much energy to have like a big painting session. So one of the things that I like about my process is that sometimes, like, I'll literally just squeeze out a paint tube of like one colour. So I don't get all my paints out. I don't have to worry about all my acrylic paint drying out and not using it and setting it all up for a short painting session. I'll just squeeze out one colour and I'll either work on one area of the painting with that colour, or I'll use that colour in multiple areas of the painting that I can. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense. But it means that, like, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel a little bit more calm, like I'm not going to be wasting paint here, and I can just do a few little things to the painting. Or, you know, I can do a big area, like I was painting in that like foliage in the background, but I was using literally one green. And I don't have to think too much about, I don't know. I just don't have to think too much. That's probably a good way to sum it up. So I'm using another colour now. I'm using pink, but I'm sort of doing the same thing. Like, I've just squeezed out one colour and I'm just adding that to the piece. My idea is that those areas at the top, those pink areas, are going to be like clouds, but this pink is just sort of forming the basis of them. And then I'm going in and like dabbing in some little flower areas with that brush. And on the topic of that brush, that's a makeup brush. And if you haven't tried painting with makeup brushes, you have to give it a go. They're amazing. I actually don't use this one often enough. It's my only makeup brush that I have to paint with, but I'd really love to get more because they're just built different. Like, the bristles, the way that the brush is shaped is really different to painting brushes, and you can get some effects that you really can't get with painting brushes. You know, these ones are really fluffy. And I haven't tried it, but I feel like they'd be really good for oil painting as well. And I think I've seen people doing that. I think that's relatively common, but I haven't tried it as yet. Oh, and look, doing drips with this brush was so fun because it held so much water. So I could really get those like real drippy, wet paint drips. It was so good. So I worked on this painting the next day. I'd taken a little bit of a break from the room project, but also, you know, I had a few more decor things I wanted to do, but I wasn't rushing myself, and I'm still not. Spoiler alert, I haven't finished everything by the end of the video. But, you know, why would I rush myself, you know? Just take it slowly and add to the room gradually and have fun. So I decided I wanted to paint again the next day, and I wanted to keep working on this piece because I was starting to get a feel of where it wanted to go. I hadn't had that much inspiration for it over the last few months. And, you know, if I feel like sitting down to work on a painting, I will do that on a specific painting because I always have quite an amount of unfinished paintings, but if I'm called to work on a certain one, but I don't really know what I'm going to do on it, I will still sit down at that painting. One thing I knew I wanted to do on this painting was to paint the water in the foreground. And I'm on a real kick of like painting things that I never have. And I've never really been a landscape painter. I've been incorporating nature elements and landscape elements into my paintings more and more. And with that comes like learning how to paint specific textures, you know, like water or, you know, grass and flowers and clouds and foliage and all that. So genuinely, I had no idea what I was doing with the water in the foreground. I think the previous layers that I had on the canvas was already helping to give it a little bit of depth. So it wasn't like a flat color. So that's one reason. So that's one thing that like why I'm a big advocate for the way I paint is that all the layers that I do, I feel like they do add some texture that you see through to, even when you paint over it, you know, that like you might not necessarily be able to achieve from the get-go. But anyway, so I was looking at some photos on Pinterest and I was looking at sort of clear water and the light reflections on it and how I could kind of simplify that into my painting and obviously not copy other photos or artworks, because also like the light and the colors wouldn't be right. So there wouldn't be any point to do that. But I was kind of looking at the elements of what made this kind of water look like water. And one of them was like the shadows that I guess they can be sort of foam on the top and then there'll be shadows underneath that. So what I'm doing now is painting the shadows of the water, of like the foam that'll be on top of the water. That may not make sense to you right now, but undoubtedly I'll be working on this painting in the next video. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean, because you'll be like I'm painting the shadows now and then I'm going to go over a little bit offset with like white or like off-white to create more of like a illusion of depth in the water. And do I know how it's going to go? No, I have no idea. What am I doing here? I don't know. Is it fun? Do I like it? Is it adding something cool to the piece? Yeah. Before I talk to you a little bit about this painting that I've been working on, I want to show you something really exciting. Wait here. So, walking the dog last night, I found this by the side of the road. Someone was throwing it out, and it's just plastic. But I don't care. It's free. It was literally garbage. So I think it's really, like, the design of it is quite cute. It's just, I don't know, probably just a really cheap part of a kid's toy set. I don't know. But I really like the design of it. Like, it's quite cute. The little door's got a little detail. The windows are cute. This little sort of balcony area. And I really want to obviously paint it. But like, yeah, decorate it. Think of like airbrushing it, covering the windows, like behind the windows to make them a little bit like semi-transparent, and then putting like fairy lights inside so you can see the glow on the outside. And yeah, I'm just So excited. I love doll houses. I really want to start collecting them, and I've wanted to for a long time. Like proper, like wooden doll houses, but this is cute, and this is going to be a fun little project. So that is now added to my pile of projects that I want to do around the house. Like I needed more. So I started working on this painting last night, and I've been painting it today as well. But I've been really distracted. My attention span has been very, very low this past week. I've needed to check TikTok a million times. I can't get off my phone. I can only do things in little sporadic bursts. So for the rest of the week, I kind of want to put a little bit of a phone ban on myself. I think I've gotten a bit too addicted to just like the dopamine I get just from opening an app on my phone. So I haven't really felt like I'm really getting like a big chunk done on it. Because sometimes I can really sit down and paint for hours and time passes, like it feels like it's been 5 minutes. But I think because I'm a little bit out of the daily habit of sitting at my easel painting, yeah, I've been out of the habit for a bit because moving house a few months ago, then it being like Christmas and New Year's, and I feel like I guess now I'm only just starting to get into more of a calm routine, I suppose. So I'm trying to be gentle with myself and not beat myself up for not being able to have those long painting sessions right now, because just sitting down to paint is good. Anything is better than nothing. So I'm really glad that I picked this painting to work on, because I've been looking at it around my studio and obviously knowing it needs more. Like it's really far, it was really far from done. It's coming along now. But I really wasn't quite sure what to add to it, where I was going with it, that kind of thing. And I wasn't even quite sure when I sat down to work on it yesterday, but as is the way with my painting process, the act of actually just sitting down to work on a painting will usually mean that an idea or a direction will come. And even if it's only like something little, like, I don't know, for instance, if I really don't know where to take a painting, like I might just work on the face, or I might just work on details I've already put there. I might add a little something new or have a little idea. And then that will spark something bigger, like a bigger theme or a bigger idea for the piece. So just sitting down to paint is where my ideas kind of flow. So I think that's kind of good, really, when you think about it, because I know that I work best when I'm working, not sitting around kind of waiting for ideas, like trying to think of things. Things just happen and flow when I'm actually sitting down with my paintbrush or my sketchbook. So I've also been doing like a lot of stuff on my iPad over the last couple weeks, month or so, editing artworks and like creating products and stuff, like editing files for things to be made into prints and notebooks and fun stuff. But just being on my iPad, I feel like is not very interesting for you guys to watch. So although it's like quite a large part of like what I'm doing at the moment, I haven't really been including it in my videos because I'm like, who wants to watch me sitting there on my iPad? I mean, I am making art on my iPad on Procreate, like I'm painting and drawing and stuff, but it just doesn't feel as interesting as watching someone physically paint. But it is a big part of what I'm doing at the moment, so I don't know. I'm probably going to start including it in vlogs. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because it means that I feel like I have to be painting something physically or working in my sketchbook in order to film, when I really do have stuff that I need to get done on my iPad for my online store. which is a real work in progress. And I'm creating some stuff that I've just never been more excited about. So that's fun. So I'm probably going to do that tonight, maybe paint a bit more if I have the energy. But I also did start painting these yesterday. So, where are we? I started painting these. So I decided I'm going to go with sort of a black base. They're all going to be a bit different though. So this smaller one, as you can see, it's got like all black at the back. This bigger one, I think I'm going to use that iridescent contact paper and put that in the back. And I'm going to add some rainbow details because we've got colour. We've got colour happening around here. So, and I think I'm going to have a break from painting this right now and work on those. Switch gears a little bit. Yeah. I did want to have the clouds made and the coffin shelves hung up before the end of this video, but I've started editing the footage that I've already got and it's already going to be quite a long video. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to include that stuff in next week's vlog. But I realised I never showed you sort of a before and after of what I've done to the little space. So let's do that now. Damn, okay. So the lighting's not that great right now. It is about to storm. And I think it's supposed to be raining for the next few days. But if I do get a bit more sun, I'll try to film this again and insert an even better clip right here. So this definitely wasn't like a complete makeover, doing the whole thing all at once. I think I like giving a room time to develop. So this was good, just doing a few little projects and starting to see where I want to take the vibe of the room, if that makes sense. But I'm quite happy with how the ceiling turned out. I do have to touch it up a little bit. There's areas that when I was peeling those stickers off, the paint peeled off a little bit. And I think I want to actually buy some stickers. You can buy like holographic star sort of stickers off like Temu, places like that. And I think that'd be kind of cute to stick up there, and maybe they'll stick better because they're actually made for that purpose. I don't know, but it'd be worth a try. And I was even thinking of like painting some clouds up there as well. I don't know yet, but I'm not saying the roof is finished by any means, but I like how it's looking now. I think it's cute. Now, I'm also happy that I painted the shelves. This contact paper from Kmart, honestly, is a little bit hit and miss. Like, it's obviously really cute. It's iridescent cute. But I did notice that within the roll, there's like some sort of scratched areas, and then there's like little bits that have been creased in the roll, so you can't see it until you open the roll. So there's some parts that I guess you can't really use, but I still tried to use them. But so it means like the finish of it isn't perfect, and you can tell like there's some little bits on these shelves that won't stick. It's not like it's a bubble in the middle of the surface. It's just like a part of the contact paper that won't stick for some reason. So it's a little bit annoying. But I think the overall appearance of it is really cute. I love that. And I painted the top of the shelves blue, and then I painted over it with this like metallic purple acrylic paint that I have, and I like how that turned out. And then I painted underneath in the same purple colour that I painted the little coffin shelves, so it's all sort of tying together. I even painted over the hooks. I'm not sure how long that paint will like last on there, because I will be hanging paints off there with little bulldog clips, so I can imagine some of the paint on the inside of the hook is going to rub off, but you're not really going to be able to see that, so I don't think it's going to matter. But I think they turned out really nice, really nice. And I didn't really show you much of me doing it, but I also hung up some of my sketches up here, some of my little sketch painting type things. So I think that's really fun to have up, and it's going to be like a little growing gallery of stuff that I stick up on there. So hopefully, it'll eventually sort of take up more of that wall, probably take it up closer to the ceiling and down a bit down here. A main goal with this little makeover of this corner was to get it looking a little bit cuter for filming vertical videos for social media. So I'm gonna turn you right now. So I think like it's pretty successful so far. And keep in mind that like on that left wall is going to be those coffin shelves and like some fake clouds hanging down on fishing wire. So I think it's coming along. I think it's starting to look cute. And I think the aesthetic of it is starting to like tie in with my artwork, which is the goal that I wanted. I want the space to sort of eventually look like it's one of my paintings, you know? Thank you for spending some time with me this week in my studio. I'm pretty much just going to jump into making the next vlog, like right now, or maybe tomorrow, because I'm rapidly losing light with this storm coming. But if you like this video, then like this video and consider subscribing. We're nearly at 1,000 followers. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers, so that's crazy. So I'll see you in the next video. Another little studio vlog. We'll be finishing those DIYs, doing some more painting, obviously, and getting some more stuff going for my online store. Potentially, finally learning how to use my silhouette sticker cutting machine and printing some stickers. So that's incredibly exciting. I don't know why I'm pointing like this, but it's just a finger of excitement over here, apparently. Anyway, thanks again for watching. All right, I love you. Bye.
Feel like gravity